Yes, I am still having a little bit of issue joining with this viewer. Can you just press it or what?
Yes, but you might need to update it. Might need to update it.
See, you're smart.
But that's why we love updates. Everybody loves them, even myself. Coming into today's step, guys, the Grand League Challengers is starting. We are looking out for a good performance from Tween, who is a really good player, has shown that in the past. Of course, second place in the 2012 and 2018 World Championships. A really old school player in the game. Tried to get his comeback last step, but that fell apart near the end. We also have Soppy, who qualified from Open League last season, was dominant there. And now playing his first Challenger season, it's been a bit of a rough one, up and down. He too could really prosper if he gets the right momentum. Then we have Skandir, also a bit of a household name now in Challengers. He's been playing really, really well the last couple of steps. Up there with Solja from Belgium, and McQuattro has already secured a champion medal, couple of golds. He too could secure a spot in the top 4 if he plays well today. So let's just take a look at this very first round. Two players have crashed. It is Skandir versus Tween in the ending, and here on this map, the very last jump, it's a precise one. You're looking for 216 speed, Skandir 225, and this should be Tween rounds to win, but he clips on the sign, and Skandir will take it, despite a bit more speed than he needed. 106.23 to start us off.
Yeah, it is possible to do that ending jump with a different kind of speed, but you also have to adjust in the mid-air, and you're going to lose a little bit of time if you do that. So we're going to see the players try to line it up perfectly, but it is definitely a difficult jump to line up. We're also going to see the players try to hold the lower gear here on the start, because if you gear up, you will lose some speed if you do that while you were drifting. Going here into the first turn. Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, exactly. It's very important. But there is also that no slide line where if you gear up, you can still keep it. Oh, McQuattro off the edge. The previous round winning time left a lot to be desired here, I think. 106.23. The world record right now, 105.36. So almost a second there between world record and the pace we're driving. I think we're just going to see a faster round here. Tween and Skandir, again, the two players left to battle for it, as Soppy and McQuattro have made 2 mistakes back-to-back. This format is very volatile. It's first to 3 points, and then you are safely on through to the winner bracket. Tween here, trying to get a point now to avoid Skandir from being on match point. Let's see her on the jump. Skandir has the perfect speed. Tween has to release, and this could come back to haunt him on the finish line. It's a tie. It's a dead tie. And Tween wins it. So in the past, Trackmania has gotten some criticism because the ties have been split by alphabet rule. But here, T beats S. There is no such rule anymore. And I think Tween won that one by having the best last checkpoint. I think that might be the tiebreaker here. So Tween anyways takes that point, but what a round.
Absolutely, what a round. I'm having a spectator bug real quick.
So yeah, Tween there. Oh, but here he clips out. It's the classic. You win a round, and then you later on make a mistake immediately after. Now, though, finally McQuattro and Soppy in the race, in the battle for the front. McQuattro has performed so well on this map. In the past, it's one of his better ones. But we know Skandir here, he's been leading the charge every single round on these jumps. Coming up to the uphill one, reduced airtime, he remains in the lead. And now let's see, oh, McQuattro's made a mistake. Soppy's sliding out. Skandir, if he knows this, if he looks at the splits, he'll see that he has this under lock and key. Just needs to get the last jump, 226. He's going to release this one, land on the ramp, and safely secure a victory here. Skandir goes up to match point.
But that's it with these identities at the very ending of the maps. It is not 100% secured, even if you are a second or two ahead. Like, we saw a good, nice ending there from Skandir, but you can accidentally hit it. And if you hit, you know, if you clip the top or the bottom, you can just maybe not even make it, even though you're far, far ahead. That's why it's interesting in the ending of each of these rounds.
Yeah, and
Skandir,
you know,
now putting himself in that finalist position already.
Yeah, and you know, like, in the past, we also had, like, these knockout rules, where if everyone crashed, you didn't have to play the identity sometimes. but it is still really difficult to survive it. And I think it's cool to see, like, how does a player try to drive differently when they have such a big lead to work with? How do they try to just make sure they get to the finish? Skundir did it masterfully, as you said, and now coming into the next round, he's again up here in the front. Skundir looking very poised to take a win here in match 1, but the competition there is fierce, Janik.
Absolutely here. But he is fighting for that first place, almost getting it already. But we have miQuatro here in front, Skundir with a little bit of a mistake. So it's going to be miQuatro or Tween here in the front. Let's see which one of these players are going to make it the best. Tween has to release, and miQuatro actually getting such a nice line directly into the hole there. miQuatro taking this round with a 106.1.
Oh, and it's a new best time in the match. He's dropping the pace, going even faster. And I think he's gotten his engine warmed up now, so it's kind of like a ticking time bomb here for Skundir to try to close it out, because miQuatro's getting very comfortable. And I remember from previous steps too, miQuatro's main strength on this map has been that he always hits that last jump consistently. That was something he did previously in matches to win point after point after point. He's very good there, but he's lost some time in the earlier part of the round, so I think the key for the others is to try to beat him here in the early stages, because on the last jump he gets 215, 216, the perfect speed target, and just close it out. Skundir with a Soppy with a big mistake. 3 players left to fight for it. Skundir still a finalist, but the other 2 players are ahead here.
Yeah, and that's what we see sometimes. We see the players actually focus in and really try to make a lot of practice out of these identities. Maybe he has just had a map with the identity alone and been able to practice that offline, so he can get a consistent setup every single time. Skundir now in front, though, trying to take it home. miQuatro trying to deny here. Let's see who gets the identity the best. Tween trying to overtake Skundir once again with a far line. Everybody makes a mistake right here. And
they've all crashed.
Every single person has crashed right here. miQuatro seems to be taking it home.
Isn't it funny the second we comment about them being so consistent on the jump, it's just everybody failing. So, you know, maybe it proves a point here. These are very difficult. You can practice all you want, but miQuatro there, quick to respawn, quick to not give up after a mistake and just think, you know what? Maybe the others failed too, and they did. He's finalist and just needs 1 more point here to go on through to the winner's bracket.
I mean, and it is a mental game at that point, right? Because if you make such a big mistake that you have to full respawn, it is very easy to just give up. But miQuatro did notice immediately that he still has a chance, and he went for it, and he got it down.
And you know, like 9 times out of 10, you will be correct. Like, yeah, in DNF, the other players are also surely going to hit this jump. But no, it goes to show that, like, you know, always try your best, always play until the whistle blows, and then you're going to be fine. Skundir here, again, a low jump. Surely this time, he has to get the reward for his effort. He's been first place coming into this ending time after time after time. Last time missed the jump though. Now here he misses the slide. miQuatro will take that opportunity to overtake. Onto the last jump we go. miQuatro 219 has to release a little bit. Skundir with potentially the chance to win, but no eclipse. Tween is too slow, and it will be miQuatro here securing the first golden ticket in the winner's bracket. He's on through.
Absolutely, and we see that ending from miQuatro has definitely helped him get that finalist and denied Skundir several times in a row here. But now Skundir has multiple attempts to get that victory down, and we're gonna see Tween and Sabi try to deny him. Sabi having a little bit of a struggle here in the first map, might not be his favorite one, and I think Skundir has a nice chance here, because we see him consistently be in front by the time that we reach the identity here. So I think he's gonna try to keep it down, but he is a little bit behind Tween right here, and he actually makes a mistake, and it's gonna be Tween and Sappy extending their lead here on Skundir.
Oh, Sappy has to release. He's gonna clip the checkpoint, barely survives here, but I think Tween will soon know this on the splits here. If he gets a low quarter pipe jump, that looks good, and Tween could now meet Skundir at finalists to try to deny him the win. They're so far behind this.
Yeah,
sure, I mean, we're not going to call it too soon, but this is the best winning spot we've seen all match. Still, Joe has the obstacle to go. 224, gonna release appropriately here, and he will be on through. That's a win for Tween, and also finalist secured.
I mean, at that point, he could have gone for the safe finish if he wanted to.
I didn't even know there was one. I've never seen anyone go for the safe finish.
You could just land on the platform, right? And just drive. There's no ramp.
Oh, you could, yeah. That's actually true. But it looks like Tween had it under control. Double finalist
absolutely.
spot. This could be tense now. Soppy hasn't really looked like he's been able to keep up with the others. I think both Tween and Skundir are preparing themselves for a 1 versus 1, but Tween hits the ring as he goes down the quarter pipe and now has to hope for Soppy to be his guardian angel, secure a win and deny Skundir if he wants to go to winner's bracket. Skundir here, though, not leaving Soppy any chances. It looks like 3,800s already, and he's coming up to the quarter pipe jump where we've seen him jump very low time and time again and extend his lead. And that shows in the splits. He's half a second ahead, Danik.
Yeah, those low jumps are super important because they do increase your speed. You get to accelerate faster than if you didn't. And Skundir does look like he has a good start to going into this finish line right here. Skundir in front of Sappy, both of them jumping. He's jumping a little further, has to release a little bit, but it does look like Sappy makes a mistake and Skundir is going to take it home right here.
Finally, Skundir closes us out, was the first player to reach finalist and almost got caught up to here, but he makes it through. Him and Miquatro will go into winner's bracket to play against the other winners. We're going to quickly take a look at the other matches here and see how they have ended up. So Soljaz won in match 1 together with Dark. Looks like match 2 is still ongoing. Rossi and Link winning in group 4.
Yeah. Want to jump in?
Yeah, we're going to hop in. Hop in and take a look. Let's see here.
So it looks like Volatile has won, and Evon and Darkwix are finalists.
That is true indeed. Mika only with 1 point so far. Now has to win 2 in a row, and it would be an interesting story if he does. You can see him across the ice there, gaining a lot of time on the others. So a bit of a risky quarter pipe jump. Evon still remains far ahead though, and they're gonna have to try to do something on the final jump. Mika trying here with the left line, gonna get more speed here than Evon and perhaps catch up a little bit. Evon still ahead, coming out to the last jump. Mika releasing early, falling behind the others is the Darkwix. Evon jumping way too short. It will be the Darkwix actually to take it.
Yeah. Oh, it is such a difficult jump. Once again, I tried these before we started today, and it is not easy setting up for these perfectly at all. So, you know, it does happen. You do see the mistakes. It is unfortunate, but
with the nerves and the pressure and everything, you go up to the jump, and it's just like,
absolutely.
Yeah, no. But it's not over yet for the players who lost. They will go into losers bracket. They can still make it on the day if they win the next 4 matches in a row. Of course, the winners can breathe a bit easier in the fact that they have a loss to fall back on potentially. So yeah, we can see the next bracket reshuffle here. We have Group 1 with Solja, Rossi, Darkwix, Skundir. Group 2, Volatile, Miquatro, Dark, and Link. That looks to be the brackets.
Yeah. That looks like a very good one for the bowl map here. Volatile and Miquatro both in top 5 in the world on that map and the online leaderboards here.
And that's also counting the Grand League players, right? Like your Carl Juniors, your Gwens, yeah. So that's a good one.
Absolutely.
I think we're gonna then watch match 2 here for the second phase. And while we have this quick break, I think we will quickly demonstrate the format, because a lot of people aren't really sure how this works, and it can be a bit complicated to get into. It's a very fun format once you know what's going on, but let me quickly pull up the format explanation video here, and let's just have a listen. It's a very nice lady who's going to explain it, so do take notes, chat.
Very pog video, guys.
For the second track,
P-POG,
the players that won their first match will play against other winners, where the losers will face other losers, like in a normal Swiss system. For the third track, players who have 2 victories and no losses are placed in the champion division. Players who won their first track and lost their second will go in the gold division, and so on. For tracks 3, 4, and 5, the format changes and follows a rising-falling principle. The 2 winners of each track go up in division for the following track, while the 2 losers go down. At the end of track 5, each player wins a medal determined by their results and the division in which they finish. At the end of the season, players will be classified following the Olympic Games principle, meaning that a gold medal is worth more than multiple silver or bronze ones. The 8 best players qualify for the final phases of the competition, while players in 9th to 12th place will clash for a single spot in the final phase thanks to Final Chance. Players in 13th, 14th, and 15th place will face off against the best players of Trackmania Grand League Challenger to try and keep their spots. The player in 16th place is automatically replaced by the best player in the Challenger League. Voila! Now you know everything about the Trackmania Grand League's new format.
So, just to quickly explain it here, if you didn't get what was going on, let me just scroll back here, and we can take a look. Basically, they play a first match. You can see now, players have ended up in 1-0 brackets and 0-1 brackets. After they play 2 matches, you will, of course, have some players that won their first 2. They go into champion. 1-1 goes gold. Same for silver. And bronze is 0-2. And then it's just about following the arrows. Like she said, if you win, you move up a bracket. If you're in bronze, you win, you go to silver. If you win in silver, you go to gold, and so on. And at the end there, at match number 3, you can get your medals. So if you win your match 3, say you are a champion and you win, you get the champion medal. That's the one you want to get, because this format is based on collecting medals. If you lose in your division, you get the one from the people below. So if you lose in champion, you get gold. Just look at the arrows, and you'll see it also when we play here. But it is a bit confusing. It's very fun, though. And if we just look at the overall standings very quickly here before we start, you'll get a feeling for how this works. Currently in the league here, Solja is the best player with 3 champion medals, 1 gold. And that is 73 win-loss. Miquatra with 1 champion, 3 golds is, of course, better than Link with 1 champion, 2 golds, and so on. So that's what we're playing for. Top 4 of the league will have a chance to advance to Grand League next season.
Yes, and that champion medal, that champion medal is super important. And to get that, you actually need to, no matter what, win the last 2 maps. So map 4 and map 5. You need to win map 4 to even get a chance to get the champion medal if you're in gold or in the previous champion match. And then you need to win that last map as well. So it's very difficult to get it, but if you get it, it counts for so much. It's super important. Yeah,
absolutely. And like, you can be just having the worst season of your life, like start with 3 bronze medals or perhaps no medals. And then you can just come back if you manage to get those champion medals. It's really interesting with the formats that we play in Trackmania Grand League, where often they don't reward average. They don't reward the best average, but they reward excellence, like having really standout strong performances. You come in one weekend and you're just playing out of your life. That counts more than just consistently performing at a level. And we get some very interesting storylines from this. Like last week in the Grand League, you had players like Otak, who hadn't had the best season, and then he just steps up, champion medal, climbs past everyone on the leaderboards because he had that one standout performance. And that's what we love to see. Same for Kappa as well in the Grand League.
Absolutely. And that's what you like to see, these out of nowhere underdog stories just coming back up, and all of a sudden they're actually in it to win it. You love to see it. Now for this map specifically, Ball, this is kind of one of my favorite maps in terms of the identity as well, because the identity, if we take a look at it, is a very it's a cruise control block, and it makes you unable to accelerate or brake with the other blocks as well, and it's super high risk, high reward.
Yeah, it's a crazy one.
Fast. Yeah, you can go fast and maybe fall out, or you can go slow and make sure that you get the lines. But it's going to be interesting to see what the players are going for, because it is super high risk, high reward. You want to enter it with around 260 speed, but we might see people go up to almost 270 or all the way down to like 240.
Yeah, and so just to touch a little bit on that, we'll see it at the end of the map, but you have cruise control, which locks your car at a certain speed. You can't exceed the speed you enter with. And then you also drive over a no braking block. So effectively, you're left just cruising at one speed that you enter with. And it is very difficult to manage it. Already in the start here, though, it's a very intense map with a lot of drifts. Particularly one I like is this downhill drop here, because it just looks like, where am I going? This is a very dangerous turn, but then it all untangles onto the dirt. Link here has an interesting line that he's played in the past, where he goes really wide into a very low line to build up speed. Miquatra and Volatile catching up a little bit, though. Up the grass with the reactor booster here. Gotta release a little bit off the acceleration so you don't fly off the uphill at velocity speed. Miquatra's getting a bit closer to Link. He still has the lead. And here we go onto the effect block. So no brakes, cruise control, fragile. And Miquatra has 261 speed, whereas Link up in front looks like he has a bit more to deal with. Miquatra catching up here as Link hits the wall. Miquatra clips off. And it looks like it still will be McQuattro to take it.
And that's what we're talking about. It can be really easy to make mistakes here in the ending because you cannot adjust your car's speed. You're kind of at the will of your car. You can only go, you know, from the left or right. And it is very, very risky. And if you're trying to push it a little bit too much, you can't get the lines out of it. So it is safer to go slower.
Ooh.
Oh, Dark with a mistake in the start, unfortunately. We're gonna see the players
slide out. It's very tricky on the ice there. Basically, if you release the acceleration at any point in the ice slide, your car is gone. And sometimes you want to release because you're like, I don't know if this is a good trajectory. I don't know if this is going to work. And then you just, you end up falling off. But as you said about the end there, the range of speed we're aiming for is somewhere between 250 and 270. The higher you go, the bigger the chances that you're not going to make it. You need to have more precision the faster you are. But also, you're playing like, you know, the faster you go, the better. So we'll see what they end up opting for. 261 is pushing it close to the limit. If you go up to like 265, you might be in trouble. So let's see here, McQuattro in the lead. What is he going to opt for? 257 now? Okay, a bit on the safer side on this. Might give Link an opportunity to come back. You can see only a car length behind McQuattro here. Will he struggle in the final one? Yes, he clips out. And that will be Link taking round number 2 here. This time, not crashing in the end.
Absolutely. Doing safe in the end, I think, is a very good strategy. I think the 260 speed just around there is a really good one because it's not too hard to control once you get used to it. If you're going 265, even up to 269, I've seen, is doable, but very, very difficult. Going into the ice slides here, we're going to see a few different lines because, once again, it can be very, very difficult to get a very consistent line here. We see the players go outside right here, maintaining the gear and trying to get as much exit speed going into this jump over the hole, which can actually be difficult just in itself, getting the speed to jump over there. Then with a very tight line into the downhill, making sure they don't clip the corner right here, can be close. I see most players go inside line here on the dirt, trying to get a lot of exit speed so that they can get a smooth jump over this black section right here with a tech drift on the inside line, trying to get the upper gear and maintaining it in this grass section, as if you lose the gear, you will lose a bunch of speed. Going up to the looping right here. Wosao in front.
Link has 274. Link has 274. There's no way he makes it. Yeah, it was too much. Wosao in the lead now by over a second, and it looked like he had manageable speed to work with here. Went for 256, and yes, that will be a win, and a nice time at that. 108.06. That's pretty strong.
It is pretty strong, actually.
The world record around 107.6, I think it was, by Scrappy last weekend. Not sure if anyone's broken that, but Wosao there, really strong performance to take the win.
Yeah, Scrappy is still on first here. And it's a little fun fact. Actually, the author time on this map is incredibly fast. It's a 107.
107 author time. That's going to be a tough one. We have 2 mistakes early. Actually, 3, as Wosao dropped the gear. And he might not make the jump over the hole, as you said. Had to take a adjusted approach to make that. So now it's a game of everyone try to chase McQuattro, who has 1 second of a lead to work with. And he now will probably realize this on the splits. Some players prefer to play with their interface off, literally just looking at this. No splits, no nothing. I just want to play my own game. And if you do this, you can actually be at danger of risking it when you don't have to. So let's see it. Absolutely. He has an 8/10 advantage, but will he save the end here? Only a 250 needed. 261 could be problematic.
261 is kind of safe if you get the lines that you've tried out for a lot of times. You see he's doing it very nicely. McQuattro saving it away into the finish here. I think it's problematic if you get a bad entrance, but it did look like he got it. He got a good start into the first wall ride right there with the 261 speed. So it did look like he had it under control. But it is definitely that question in your mind, like if I'm a second ahead and I don't risk it, if I go like 250 speed, will they overtake me? Are they going to be able to risk it for that 260? And we have a mistake in the start. Dark accidentally clipping that checkpoint and having to full respawn. And
he really hasn't had the best start to this map, Dark. A lot of respawns, of course. He was the one to slide out on the ice as well, so can be a bit hard to get into the rhythm of this when you're just going from map to map. You have practice it, of course, but it's just like when you're there on the server in the match and you have to adjust in just a couple of rounds. Because look, McQuattro's finalist. The match is drawing to a close and you still haven't really gotten into your consistent driving style. So he is a bit on the back foot here. Link, though, great start to this. This is a fast run from him. We need to see what speed he commits for, if it's going to be good enough to hold only 265. And this is starting to enter the danger zone. Makes the first one, but the second one is the problem because you're going so fast that now you have to really strain the car to make it through the turn, and he will do so, but with a 107.89, and that is a great time.
Very nice time, yeah. Absolutely. That's like top 13 world. That's very well played. Also, get it, when you have a lot of speed here, you want to go up high on those bowls right there to make your car initiate a drift, because otherwise you're just not going to make the turn. And he did that wonderfully. So very nice to see Link execute one of the harder lines here on this map. And he's going to try to close out one of these double finalist rounds here. It's going to be between Link and McQuattro trying to take that finalist position home, as Link is in front right now. McQuattro with a little more speed, trying to overtake, and he does so, going for the inside line. Going a little wider than I thought, but it's just fine, making sure that they don't eat too much of this penalty. McQuattro going a little bit higher up than Link, and Link tries to get that speed out of that turn into the tech section. Both of them doing it wonderfully. Link trying to overtake, pressuring here on McQuattro, but they're neck and neck. Going neck and neck into the final looping here. Let's see who gets the most speed in the ending. They're both going to risk it, I think. Link with 260. McQuattro, I didn't quite see what he got there.
Oh, Link is faster. He's catching up the last bowl. McQuattro will have an inside line with less speed, but Link's going to try to snipe it, and he will actually secure it, just 0.04 of a second ahead, but that is enough to take the finalist position, make it into a win, and go into winner's bracket here.
Absolutely. And we actually saw Link right there go for a 268 and still make it. But the last turn was so drifty that he didn't get to accelerate all the way up to the speed that he entered in with.
Yeah.
Sorry.
McQuattro. Yeah, McQuattro went for a little bit too much on that one. Now, though, 3-player race makes that a 2-player race. It's again Dark. No, sorry, not Dark. It's Volatile who's crashed out. Dark here, last man standing in the match to try to deny McQuattro, who has been finalist for a few rounds. Now, perhaps feeling a bit relieved that Link has closed out his attempt. That was his main competitor on it, but Dark's giving him a run for the money here. Only a car length behind before we get up to the ending section. And seeing the times they're driving here, Dark, he's probably feeling like he has to risk to make sure that he takes the win, because second place will do him no good. Let's see what speed he opts for coming into the end. It's only a car length, but he needs to win that distance. Only at 254 here, and that does perhaps give McQuattro some incentive. As we see, he has 256 McQuattro up ahead. A speed advantage that he can never regain, and it will be McQuattro and Link that qualifies out of round 2 here.
Well played. Solid last round there for McQuattro. Consistent first place, and also taking it home there in the ending. And we do see Link and McQuattro going here. McQuattro was a favorite on the map, having the second place on the leaderboards as of right now. So does show up with the pace that we expected. And very nice to see Link also making it in.
And I think we saw 2 different strategies there. I think we saw Link just risking a bit and going for these fast, like 107 guaranteed times. And McQuattro went for more for like a 108.2, 108.3. If I drive this pace enough times, my opponents will make some mistakes that let me win. Like, it's just a numbers game. I'm going to do this over and over again in my rhythm, and eventually he picks up 3 wins. So...
yes.
Interesting to see.
And that's a solid tactic as well. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I think that's a solid play. If you recognize your opponents and their paces, it's a good play to be safe and consistent. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Indeed. So let's see now how the other matches have shook up and where we stand. Oh, it's a triple final situation in match 1 between Soldier, Rossi, and Skundir. Let's hop in. Take a look. So this is the other winner bracket group. All the players on the server won their first match. And now, as we saw, they were triple finalists. It's Rossi versus Soldier in the ending. Take a look at this one. Rossi with a calling to the lead, but Soldier sniped it just as we saw there. So it's a bit of a shame we didn't get to catch that entire race, but Soldier will be the first winner here. No surprise there, perhaps. He's been winning all season long, and he picks up another one. But it's still a double finalist here, Yannick, between Rossi and Skandir.
Absolutely. Now you're going to have to take this one because once again we get a little bit of a spectator bug here.
All right, so let's take a look. It is actually the Darkwix in the lead. He has 1 point right now. If he picks up another one, then, well, we'll get treated to a second double finalist round. And it looks like Rossi's falling behind a little bit. It's 0.2 of a second. Skandir, though, keeping up close, just staying within range. Actually going to overtake here on the dirt with an inside line. Darkwix trying to come back with more speed, but this trajectory should not give him any advantage. Skandir now with about a 10th to his name. Bit awkward trajectory. Darkwix coming right back up to the reactor booster. Can he keep the grip with this trajectory? Yes, he will, but has to struggle with the gear, and it will actually be the two finalists up in first. Rossi and Skandir leading the race here. Rossi with a 2.64, and he's coming in close very quickly here. Skandir having to try to defend this with less speed. How will he manage? Rossi going high on the wall, and the speed could pay off, but no. Skandir defends beautifully. 700s to keep in the lead, and the two Belgians here move on into the champion match.
Absolutely. That was a very nice, once again, show of how both of the endings here, how going with a little bit of a lower speed so you don't have to drift as much as the exit in towards the finish there, how that actually can help you as well.
Yeah, it's two different, like, it's two different playstyles. One of them is going really fast on the straights, but then also having to deal with the drifts on the hills, and the other one is just slow on the straights, but really good turns. So, interesting. Now we have a insane top match there. Soldier, Skandir, Link, McQuattro. They all won 2 matches today, and they're all really looking in top shape, driving close to the world record in their matches. So that's going to be a good one. Then we have the gold group. That's group 2. Rossi, Darkwix, Volatile, and Dark. That's going to be a confusing one to cast when you have Darkwix and Dark.
Dark, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Then we have Group 3, which is the silver match, Soppy, Enner, Avon, and Tween. They still also have a chance to get to the champion match. And then Group 4 is the bronze match, where if you win all your remaining matches, the best you can do on the day is a gold medal. So they have a bit of a tough day, but they can still make the most of it and climb up. So I think we're going to hop on the champion server and take a look at our top players for now. The way the format works, as we said, is that at this stage, they will play 3 more matches, and the third one decides which medals you get. So the goal is to remain in the top bracket at the last matches.
Absolutely. So even if you're in the gold bracket, you can still get the champion bracket if we're talking the second last map here, which is not. It's not this one.
I think to summarize it in the most in the easiest way possible, just try to win. Winning is usually a good thing.
Ah, yes.
Just win your matches and you'll be good to go. If you're rooting for a player, you'll hope that they win, and then that's good.
Yeah, but just know that all the players in the top 3 groups technically have a chance of getting the
champion medal today. Yeah. So even the players in Group 3 right now, they're still in contention for the top spot. We're going on to Knife Edge, Janik, and you said to me before the cast today that you had a look at all the maps, so what did you pick up about this one? What are the key things that you need to do here to get a good time?
Yes, so there is a starting, so I'm going to go into here and into an aerial view to give myself a little bit of a better overview here from the start. But there is a starting gear that is a little bit risky. Let me just check it. Here,
you can see Soldier driving the start right now, I think. So maybe take a run with on board with him.
Take a run with Soldier here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a a slow start with the road surface right here, but that's not that important because we go into the grass right here, making sure that you don't make a mistake on the gear on the left-handed turn. Then you want to do a tight turn right here and jump up to the dirt road here. This is a difficult jump, actually. That jump can really make you do some mistakes. Then we have a downhill right here, and that downhill right there, that's where you get a dirt gear that you have to drive straight on. If you don't or the grass gear. If you don't do that, you're going to lose a bunch of exit speed. Going into a bobsleigh, want to make sure that you get a perfect exit so you can get a low jump. The lower the jump here, the more speed you're going to preserve. Into a drift U-turn, making sure you maintain enough speed to jump over to this water section right here. And then we're going into the identity here in a second. Just one more drift, and we're going to see the identity where the players are going to jump from left to right. Oh, Soldier with a little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but players are going to jump from the left to right platform, trying to balance their car on that little, as they say, knife's edge, making sure they don't fall out or accidentally clip the middle and lose a bunch of speed. And there are a few small intended shortcuts that you can take where you jump from the environment to the other part of the road. If you take some of the scenery blocks, you can jump from those to the other side.
We'll see Skundir going for it here again, perhaps able to demonstrate it. Yeah, so jumping from the grass ledges there, directly to the checkpoint, transitioning to the other side of the platform, and then jumping again. And this requires really good car control. Like, I've heard the pros talk about this map as one of the most technically demanding, just because of all the things you said. Especially, think about this jump in the middle, right? You're building up as much speed as possible in the bobsleigh, coming up to it. You transition onto this block, and now you have so little time to aim this very low quarter pipe jump, and the lower you land, the better. A lot of rounds on this map will be decided in that very jump right there. Just how low you land, how early you can set up for the next drift, it all snowballs. And then, of course, once you have the lead, you then have to deal with the knife's edge where only the pixel-precise turn steer will get you through it. McQuattro, though, showing excellence in the warm-up. Just, it looked like he was casual. And isn't that one of the things, Janik, when like we're sitting here struggling, saying how difficult this jump is, that jump is, and then you look at the pros here in the warm-up, they're just going for a stroll. They're just taking a walk in the park, just chilling. Yeah, let's drive a couple of runs, and then it's like the pace they're driving is actually insane.
It is incredible. Just when I drove this earlier, I was trying to get author time on all the tracks. Let me just spoil that for you. That did not end as intended. And this was one of the tracks where just the small optimizations, making sure that you drive straight when you gear up on plastic or on grass, or making sure you do as low of a jump as possible and in that quarter pipe jump right there, or making sure you don't bounce out in the underwater section. All of these things are things that the players have practiced time and time again. Not to mention that identity. That is, it's hard to explain just how precise. You have to know, now I have to turn, and then you have to commit to your turn, because if you don't commit to the turn, you're gonna fly out the stage.
Yeah, it's crazy, and all the mistakes we don't see are things they've sort of gotten rid of in weeks and weeks of practice here. We're starting in 8 seconds, and now for these players, if they want to advance and move up one league up to the top league of Trackmania esports, the Grand League, this is when they have to put all that practice and make it come to fruition. On Knife's Edge, it's match 3. We're watching the champion match. These players have played the best throughout the day, won their first 2 matches. We will see someone go up to 3-0 and someone go down to 2-1. Let's find out who it is. Here we go.
As the players start the first round here, McQuattro taking an early lead.
Warm up.
Warm up. I got baited just a second there.
It's the classic. But now we are live, Janik. Take it away, if you will. Let's go.
We are now live with the first round here on Knife's Edge. Yes, we're going to probably see the players go neck and neck. All of the times on the leaderboards are also very close to each other. The first 5 world records here within 0.1 second of each other, as we see the first transition going in right here. McQuattro taking an early lead, fighting with Soldier. Both of these players have done so well, showing their pace today, going into the downhill grass part, getting the gear well, both of them. McQuattro with a little bit more of an inside line, getting a little bit more of a lead here, jumping into the transition with the bobsleigh, wanting to get as much exit speed. Let's see who gets one of these low lines right here. Soldier with a very low line, trying to overtake McQuattro, and he does do it, just showing you how important these transitions with the jumps are.
And we did have a mistake from Skundir there. Here's out of the fight. It's a 1 versus 1 right now as the link looms in the distance. McQuattro with an early lead, but look at this. Soldier coming back with the speed. Last jump now. Does he have time to set up his car for the jump? Yes, he does. And an excellent display there of car control. Soldier will take the first round. And what a time. Opening with a 104.6. That is just 3/10 from the world record.
That is incredibly fast.
Currently, I believe it is by Bren, around the 104.3 mark, so already opening just with an incredible performance. But here, the key is the consistency. We saw Skondir miss the jump. This is when you have to go back to the drawing board and make sure that you can get that, because here surviving the map can be a tall order. Link going upside down the dirt jump. As you mentioned, it is difficult, and it shows there. 3 players left, and we haven't even gotten past the quarter pipes.
No, and that's the thing. When you see the when we're talking a lot about these low air times, at the ending, at the knife's edge identity, we're also gonna say, oh, we have a mistake from Quattro as well, accidentally clipping, losing a bunch of exit speed.
And he's gonna struggle with the jump. Soldier clipped the jump, I think.
Yes,
look at Skondir coming back here into the fight. We're gonna have a really equal race despite it being a bit of a mud fight. Skondir catching up with exit speed here, getting closer, but Soldier will have the best line before the knife's edge jump. Going out though with airtime, and Skondir, big chance to win here after the mistake in the first round, and he will take that.
Yes.
That's a win for Skondir.
And that's what I was just about to say, that even the airtime on the big jump, super important, but the very small airtime that you get between the knife's edge sides right there in the identity are also super key for you to get a good time here on this map.
Now we see both the Belgians have opened with a win. Skondir off the edge, clipping on the grass, committed a little bit too early to the turn. Now the dirt jump. Let's see if Link can fix his mistake from the previous round. That looks a lot better. The problem there is, of course, the water wheels, and it's a complete flip. The 2 Belgians who won around now in the bottom 2 spots. McQuattro, though, in the lead. Does he keep the gear through the drift here? You want to stay in the upper gear on the plastic. You don't have to deal with the gear change. Link coming back with more speed into the bobsleigh. A surface that only snowballs speed advantages further. He will overtake, and with a good bobsleigh jump, he will also remain ahead now before the drifts. Let's see who can take this in the ending. The knife's edge remains, and we will see McQuattro and Link fight for it. Link with a different setup. McQuattro will have more speed as he goes down that hill. It's a car length. McQuattro committing on the inside line. Better transition, perhaps. Oh, Link remains ahead.
Link, 1/100th of a second.
I thought McQuattro had the exit speed, but time and time again, Link just fought back and kept his lead. That was insane.
That was incredible, and that's what we're saying by that ending. That ending can be so tight, and that's also the leaderboard shows this, that these players, this is such a technical map, but it's going to be such a tight map because these players have really, really practiced this out time and time again. And did we see a little bit of a mistake there from Skondir, going a little bit wider than the other players, but it is not over yet, because we have seen him be able to play this map just as well as the others, and we've seen multiple mistakes from all of the players so far, actually.
Oh, and as you say it, McQuattro a bit too wide on the drift. Skondir actually missed the gear there on the straight, as you said.
Yes.
So let's now take a look at the jump. Soldier has a very difficult setup to deal with, and that's going to make him go flying. Link flying himself up into first place. Another opportunity to win here. 2 in a row would do really well for him in the momentum of this match. But Skondir and Soldier are trying to catch up. Anything can happen on the identity. Link, too much airtime, and he flies off. It really is the name of the game. Soldier as well.
It is balancing on a knife's edge, guys. It is really not easy driving this identity as well.
Yeah, I know. This is all over the place, truly. We see Skondir there, who did make the early mistake, bit wide drift, being the one to stay the most consistent, and he takes the win. So that paid off for him. But maybe it's not a mistake. It might actually just be the trajectory he's most comfortable with. I think what it is, as you said, the jump is difficult, and he just wants a little bit more speed at the cost of a 10th of a second. He feels safer going for that, and so it is a small trade-off he's willing to pay the price for. Bit wide, barely gets to the platform in time, but here he's quickly falling behind. The leading pack, Link, losing speed. 2 players left before the jump without any mistakes. McQuattro, beautiful jump there, will shoot up into first, but now Soldier has a very tough task if he wants to come back. A 1/4 of a second in the...
McQuattro. And McQuattro makes a mistake, and Soldier is now on first here, and he has to maintain it because Skondir is trying to look to close this out. Soldier does seem to have a good line right here, jumping straight into the finish, and it's going to be Soldier's round to take.
I don't even know what happened to McQuadra there, but it looked like he landed like a skipping stone in the water.
It happens, and that's these players have tried that water bounce multiple times, and everybody, if you've played this map, have had that water bounce happen to you. It can be difficult to calculate. As far as I can tell, if you get a nose down, you should be fine, but it's just some of these minuscule differences can lead to big outcomes.
Indeed, and we see that might have been the air brake that cost it. We will not know, but McQuadra there now has to really try his best in the remaining rounds. He is the one at 0 points. There are 2 finalists in the match, and time is quickly running out if you want to win. So here, gotta go all in. We see a mistake. That was Skandir falling behind. Soldier almost, but he hangs on. Oh no, that's not a setup you want. He's out of it. Link versus McQuadra in first and second. The 2 players in the back foot on the match. Whoever wins this one, they both desperately need this point. Let's see who will take it in the end, Janik.
McQuadra going into the identity with more speed. Both players going up high here. McQuadra getting a nice low line. Link trying to keep up. McQuadra getting really low. But he clips the inside, and Link overtakes in the ending.
Oh, and that is a painful mistake to make. It was the final jump. You are like 99% complete, and you've gotten all past all the hard obstacles, and then you just... one small mistake is all it takes for someone to take it away from you. Absolutely. 3 finalists now, though. There's only 2 spots in the winners, the champion bracket. So, now it's getting pretty intense. McQuadra needs a hat trick if he wants to win today. Going up into first, he will do that. Skandir, again, we can see him falling behind the start. As you said, the gear here, looks like all of them get it. And here also in the dirt, it's important to stay in the upper gear on the plastic so you don't get any issues. Link coming in so much speed on the bobsleigh. Low landing to keep that snowball rolling onto the jump. He will clip it though. Falling behind him, McQuadra has a chance for the first point that he needs out of 3. The others are quite far, almost half a second now. No water bounce will make him remain in first, but he really got to clean up in the end and not make that jump mistake. Looks like he barely gets to transition in time. It's Soldier who will clip. The others are far away, and yes, McQuadra gets the first point he needs. And what a time, Janik.
Good time,
yeah. 104.5. Might have even been close to his personal best there.
Yeah, that's 0.3 away from the world record. That is definitely a fast time. Well played, McQuadra. Looking to see if he can bring that pace once again, because he needs it. He needs to do that 2 more times if he wants to get that denied on the other players. Going into another round right here with 3 finalists. Going into the dirt transition, everybody seems to be doing it just fine here. Skandir with a little bit of a slower start. McQuadra really trying to push it here in first. Everybody seems to get the gear. Skandir going a little bit wide, but he gets a tighter line.
Dropped gear. McQuadra dropped the gear, I think. No. He's gonna be in last place. He's not gonna be too far behind, but it's Skandir jumping up into first now. On the quarter pipe, Skandir crashing out. And that means that Link and Soldier are in first and second. McQuadra with a very difficult mission here. If he wants to catch up, he's gonna try his best. He knows he can perhaps do it in the end. Getting a bit closer. Good setup for the speed here. Link will jump out. He only needs to catch the Soldier, but Soldier has such a big lead. He released though. McQuadra is going to snipe it on the finish line.
Oh my God.
And it's a quad finalist round coming up.
Quadruple finalist. McQuadra really bringing the content to the Trackmania Grand League Challenger Series today.
Oh, he's giving us a treat here. Okay, 4 finalists. McQuadra coming in with a lot of momentum. The 104.5, nearly driving his personal best. A second win there with a snipe. He is the player who perhaps has the psychological advantage, but the others have had so many rounds now in finalist that there's a lot of pressure on McQuadra's shoulders. He has to close this out on his first attempt. If not, it could be way too late. He has a 10th of a lead before the drift here. Link going wide to ensure he has the speed. He's gonna come up into first place with this, but now he will have a very difficult jump to deal with, as going very fast here means the aim has to be on point. Will he get the quarter pipe jump perfectly low in such a decisive round? Up into first, but the others are right on his heels. It's only 0.2, Janik, before the ending. This could go anyway.
And all three players are within point two of each other here. Link going a little bit faster into the turn. Is he going to maintain a low line? He does do it just fine. McQuattro trying to close in right here. Soldier also right in the heels, but it does look like Link has it. Almost jumping out, but Link gets it with 104.8, getting the first victory here on Knife's Edge.
Ooh, that was a nail biter. Link is safe. There is still one more spot to fight for between these three finalists. They've all played a really good match. They've all had their bright moments and their mistakes, but they have to make sure they get this one final round down. You cannot afford to miss the jump. You cannot afford to miss the quarter pipe either. Let's take a look now into the dirt. Is McQuattro too wide? Oh, the back wheel almost making contact, but he remains ahead. Skondir bit on the slower end again. And we do see Soldier and McQuattro now in the battle. McQuattro going to commit with all the speed there, but a wide trajectory means he will not gain as much as he could have. But Skondir, oh my god, like a rocket. Will he hit the jump though? The quarter pipe, McQuattro very low. He stays on the track. But Skondir here has gone from last to first with a chance of closing this one out. McQuattro will be equal before the ending. Up into the quarter pipe. Set up for the drift here. McQuattro not with the best line. Look at this. Skondir, sorry, coming back. He clips. And that is a battle between the Belgian Skondir with a chance to just go into the finish and take it. And he will.
There you go, Skondir. He has been a finalist for some time, looking for that round where he can close it out, and it does happen right here, taking the second place victory. Very well done, Skondir.
And for such a long time there, it felt like McQuattro was going to make the comeback happen.
Absolutely.
But he will have to settle for gold. A gold match.
But
no, wait, sorry. Oh, it is not. Yeah, it is 2 matches left, so it is not decided yet. My bad. We can take a look at how
that's what we talked about before. Actually, it can be a little bit of a mind game whether or not you want to be in group 1 or group 2 for the second to last match here, depending on who you think is going to be in either group. Because you can still get the champion medal even if you're in either group 1 or group 2 for the next match.
Yeah, so the thing that is going to happen now is we're going into match 4. There are 5 matches in total. So match 4 here is a decisive one. As Janik mentioned earlier, if you want to win the step today, you have to win match 4 and match 5. And you have to be in either gold or champion to do so. So McQuattro, Soldier, Evon, and Tween in gold have a chance if they win. And so do Link and Skondir, Wosa, and Rossi if they win. And we're going on to one of the new maps. Is it hard or is it turnover? That we'll start with here. It looks like it is turnover. That will be the first of the 2 maps.
Yes.
I think we'll join the champion match here.
And turnover is one of these very, very difficult maps. I had the pleasure to try it out earlier today. And I'm not saying that I got laughed a little bit at, but it is a lot harder than it looks. These players are going to make it look just smooth as butter. We are going to see some mistakes, I think, as well, but it is definitely one of the most difficult identities I've seen so far this season.
Right, and one thing to take note of here too is this is a very high-speed track. And a lot of Trackmania players that started in the old days, that started playing, 10 years ago, back then we didn't really play that many multi-style maps. Often what you did in Trackmania is you focused on one style of track. So some players started playing tech tracks with a lot of drifts. Some people came from the dirt scene where they only played dirt tracks. And some players played a lot of full speed. And this one is basically just full speed with the very difficult ending. And so players like Link that have a bit of a background from the full speed scene could be the favorites to win here. Just from experience on how to maintain speed in every single section. It is something that takes years and years to learn.
Oh, it is so difficult. And we have seen some of the full speed previous players jump into Tmgl like Mudda, doing very well so far, and showing that you can also transition from one style to the others. But it is difficult, and with maps like these, you gotta think if he has this one as one of his favorites.
It could be. I mean, we can take a look at the leaderboards here in the warm-up to see who of these 4 players in the champion match have the personal best publicly posted on the leaderboards. Currently in this match, it looks like Volatile with a 108.13 is the fastest. Yes. And that is a good time. That is very close to the world record, 107.81 right now. But here also on the screen,
right behind him, yeah.
Yeah, here also on the screen you can see the ending of the map. Why are they driving backwards, you might ask? Well, there are boosters, anti-boosters. They're pointed against you, and so you cannot pass them forward. So here, the strategy is to drive backwards, drive over that booster, get to the reactor booster here, and then keep driving forwards. That is the main obstacle. And when you turn around, it can get very weird, because when you drive backwards, the steering is opposite. You steer left to go right, and so on. So you have to be really good at noticing how your car behaves here, if you have to steer left or right.
Because the controls invert out of, like, there's no warning. It's not like the game has like a sound as an invert or anything. It's just you have to just feel like, oh, now I have to turn the other way. It's very difficult, and it can catch you off guard so easily if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're gonna see is on this first turnaround, actually, we're gonna see the players initiate a drift on purpose as they enter the booster, because you slow down a lot faster. So you slow down to a halt, and then you can start accelerating forwards. And the players have found out that if you do that with a drift, it's actually faster. So we're gonna see the players try to initiate that drift without hitting the wall, because if you hit the wall, I don't know if you've seen it, but there is actually a lot of small, tiny slow-mo blocks on the wall. So if they hit that, they're gonna be a lot slower. But I think we're gonna see most people try it.
Yeah, and it might well happen. Also, not to mention slow-mo, if you hit the wall, you also get the infamous acceleration penalty. So
yes,
you really got to be careful not to hit that wall there. But it's a very quick stop if you get the drift, like we saw from Volatile. So yeah, let's see. I mean, Rossi as well. He is a player that came from the NASCAR scene, which is not really full speed, but a lot of it is about preserving speed. It's a really high speed style. So there might be things that really transfer well for him in knowing how to commit to turns with the most amount of speed, etc. Then you have players like Skundir, who I have had experience playing against myself, came from the RPG scene, which is full of obstacle maps, difficult sections. And when it comes to driving backwards like this in the end, he is probably one of the best, most consistent players at it, because this is just every day for him, playing these difficult obstacle tracks.
Yeah, and you must think that, you know, if you have experience with these RPG-esque maps where you have all these difficult tricks that you have to execute, if it translates well into these Tmgl maps, because it is a lot of these tricks that you have to do on all of the maps, and I think that might actually be an advantage.
Indeed, we'll see how it all balances out. You know, now that the styles are more mixed, it's not often we get something that is pretty much mostly just one style here. So we're gonna take a look. First round out on turnover, starting on the plastic, and you have to be careful with the gears here. There's one in the downhill there where you really gotta make sure you're not steering as it happens. The gear shift will take place quicker, you'll accelerate quicker again. And here, as they're going down, you see they're just going for this very gentle sliding angle into the first wall right here. Very narrow landing. But everywhere they can, they're just trying this quick little speed slide here. Turn around, land backwards, and now we'll see who gets the drift set up. They're all trying to do it. Skundir losing a bit after drifting too early. It is Volatile in the lead before the second plastic section here.
Volatile going for a little bit of a alternate line right there. It did look like it was on purpose, but Link's line with a more direct section through that plastic transition looked to be better. We're going to see the players trying to maintain upper gear right here as they're going to turn around for the second turnover. And it looks like they get it right here. Rossi in front, trying to maintain the lead. The other player's trying to push it here, but it does look like he's going to get it just fine. But Volatile actually attacking, overtaking. Rossi might have hit a little bit of that penalty grass right there. And Volatile does take it for the first round.
Yeah, great speed management by Volatile. 108.5, a very strong time to start us off. And as we said, he is the player with the best personal best on the leaderboards. 108.13 the time. Let's go into the second round, see how they manage the gear. Looks like Volatile gets a lot there, and also good trajectory. Will be able to contest for first, but Skundir stays ahead. Speed slide up the hill, speed slide down, and now this is a very tough jump to aim into the grass wire. The car slides all over the place. But they manage it very comfortably here at the top. Two players turn around, land. Skundir struggles to turn around here. That's a lot better. Look at that. Remains ahead and perhaps even gains more time. And now, Volatile with a different line, setting up differently. Perhaps going for a lower line. That's a very low trajectory through the wall ride. It looks like Tmgl gained a bit of time. He's back up, gaining a 10th. And look at this, up into first now. Volatile's got the lines, but he loses upper gear here. And that will be problematic against the others. Turn around, all 4 players in the mix for this one. Speed will be the size of Skundir and Link getting all the reactor boosts they can. Skundir perhaps with an attack here, trying to get up into first, but it will be Link to defend it. 700s in front. And what a race there by all 4.
Absolutely. It's very nice to see that they're consistent with these turnarounds. As difficult as they are, these guys make it look very, very consistent right here. Well done by all the players. But yes, as you said here, in the start, we have a few gears that are very, very difficult to manage if you're not used to gears on plastic, but all the players obviously look to do it just well. Going into the grass section, we're going to see, as you said, the players go with a small angle on the drifts going into the first wall ride right here, and they're going to go super tight into this banked grass turn. The tighter you go, the more speed you preserve, as we see Link here not getting it fully, actually making a crash just as I say it. Skandir now on third. Let's check Volatile's line once again here. It is a little bit more left to right. It looks like he tries to set up better for a low line here on the plastic wall ride. The lower you go, the more speed it pushes you out with. It does seem like Rossi on first, fighting with Volatile. They're alone here, 0.3 down to Skandir.
And this is a battle and a half. Rossi remains ahead after all is said and done with all the different lines to setups, but we know Volatile can generate a lot of speed in the ending. Backwards landing now. Oh, Rossi sliding on the penalty grass. Volatile will not have anyone even close. 108.2, and that's just a 10th from his personal best.
Absolutely, and being able to drive consistently close to your personal best right here is very impressive, and it's something we're actually going to see a lot of the players do because they're pushing it each and every single round. These players are pushing it, so getting close to the PBs is something we're going to see quite frequently, but it is not easy, and that's why we also see some of these mistakes happen.
Yeah, indeed. Another one down now. Volatile is finalist, and it looks like he's really gotten into the rhythm on this map very quickly. The others perhaps struggling to do those turnarounds just as well. Here, though, a big mistake there from Rossi to lose him a second. Now 3 players left after the turnaround, and they are all pretty much even here.
Yeah, Skandir actually gaining a lot on the other players here, getting a very, very nice turnaround with the drift, but he goes up super high here, actually getting almost overtaken by Volatile. Link trying to maintain that first place position for him. He is in front by 0.1, but Volatile tries to attack with an inside line. Does he gear down? I think he does so, losing a little bit of speed to the other players. It's now going to be Skandir or Link here in the front. Link actually clipping the back edge there, and Skandir now takes first place.
Oh, but look at Volatile's speed. Oh,
but Volatile,
he might catch up. No, Link remains ahead. There was Link, yeah.
It was Link. Okay. I couldn't see the nameplate either.
Yeah. Link takes that one. Finalists for both the French players. Rossi and Skundir on zeros right now. And a good winning time there too, 108.6 from Link. That is really, really fast and surely enough to win consistently. But let's take a look here as we go into the next one.
It's funny how he did that with the clip. Like how he got that much speed.
Oh, right. Yeah, he was actually falling behind a little bit on the turnaround. But I'm impressed. We haven't seen anyone really get confused by the steering yet. They all really seem to be able to handle the car as they turn around. Was one of the main concerns on this map. Now, another drift setup for that reactor booster. Link still ahead here as finalist. One more to go into the champion match. Link has won a champion medal last week. That was his first one and a well-deserved one. If he gets a second one, he could actually be contesting for first in the league. Because Soldier here, who's leading the league, he has 3, but he's not here in the champion match yet. So we'll see how that all pans out. Very close battle here. Volatile now struggling with the steering as we briefly mentioned it. Link versus Rossi in the ending. Rossi will be ahead with more speed. Nothing Link can do, sadly. But that is a very important point for Rossi, who had 0, now just 2 wins away potentially.
And we have Volatile and Link both are finalists and playing very, very consistently. So it's very important for Rasi and maybe even Scandier to get that mental game, knowing that they can still beat these two players if they get some of these really good rounds. But as we've seen consistently, also right at the start here, Link and Volatile trying to extend their lead on the rest of the of the pack already, and they seem to do so. Getting a really good understanding for this map early is very important as Volatile goes for a tighter line, tries to overtake Link, and they're now neck and neck. Rasi with a little bit of a mistake right there, clipping the side. And it is now Volatile and Link. You can see Volatile going for a wider line, tries to go way lower here in the plastic wall ride, maintains more speed, and every single time I've seen them do this, Volatile is able to attack Link in that section, but Link tries to maintain that lead going into the last section of the map.
Oh, and we might have our first winner here. Either finalist, they're both going up to the reactor boost now. The speed outcome, Link committing early. He might be slower than Volatile on the finish rate. And yes, he is. Volatile coming back with the attack. Will it be enough on the finish line? He will. 400th to spare, and Volatile there.
Absolutely.
Nerves of steel to just see Link run away and just think, you know what? I'm going to get all the speed I can. It will pay off. And it does just barely. Into the champion match 3 he goes to go for his 3rd potential champion medal this step, and Link now left to fight it out with Skandir and Rasi to try to join him.
Absolutely. We're going to see the other players really try to risk it now, because it is the final spot for the champions match that we're seeing Link fight for right now. So Skandir and Rasi really need to deny Link. But as we've talked about, it's all about the mental game. It can be very difficult to close out one of these finalist positions right here, as Skandir and Rasi actually getting a little bit of a lead over Link right here. So they're fighting with each other, but they're neck and neck. They're so close to each other. Link going for a more low line, trying to push in, actually getting a little bit closer to the rest of the pack right here. But Rasi and Skandir are having such a nice fight here in the front. Looks like they're going for a little bit of a tighter line. Link getting more speed into the backwards section. Is he gonna do anything with it? Skandir actually clipping the back edge, but it's gonna give him the speed. Link is now on first, and is he gonna maintain it? He is gonna maintain it, taking away that opportunity from Skandir and Rasi. Link taking the 2nd victory.
And an amazing winning time to close it out as well. 108.3 there. They really were the fastest, the most consistent. Volatile and Link
Absolutely.
here, unmatched on turnover. We will see them in the champion match to fight for their champion medals. And let's see from the gold group here who will join them. Miquatro has won. Soldier is finalist. We have no time to spare. We got to jump right in here and see how this one will stack up. Let's see. So whoever wins this match will go into the champion match together with Volatile and Link. And as we said, Soldier is finalist. He has won 3 champion medals in the first 4 steps. He's on for his 4th one. If he closes this out, has a point advantage over both Evan and Tween. But now we get to see who can drive the best here. Tween actually with the best time in the match here, so he might be the favorite, Janek.
Absolutely, and we can see Tween and Evan fighting here for 1st and 2nd. Soldier on 3rd, trying to close out that finalist position, but if he does as Link, he can still get it right here in the last turnaround, trying to attack. Evan with more of that booster is going to get more speed, but he actually goes for such a wide line. Soldier with a slowdown though. Evan is now alone in the front. Tween eating a lot of that penalty grass, and Evan is going to take it with a 108.68.
Oh, and that was heartbreak for Tween, Janek. He had that one. He was going to win with the speed, but he slid out on the grass just barely.
Oh, no.
And saw Evan sail away with it. Yeah, Evan now finalist. Tween needs a Herculean task here to win 2 rounds in a row against the finalists to catch back up, but he has the proof of pace. He knows he's fast, but to do it twice in a row against the 2 top players in the league here, Soldier and Evan, they've been playing great all season long. This will be difficult. Evan, we know him to be very good in the endings of the map, always sniping away victories when he can. Here though, into the wall. That will not gain him any time. So.
Oh no!
And was the mistake sold? Oh, Tween has hit the slow-mo.
Tween as well hit the slow motion, yes. And now Soldier's all alone in the front, half a second down to Evon. Evon is not going to give up, though, because he knows that it's not safe for Soldier just yet. Going into this last part of the identity can still cause a few issues, and Evon knows just from the last round where he slid out, or where Tween slid out, that it is possible to make a mistake, and he's going to try to go for it right here in the ending as Soldier gets a good turnaround, it looks like. Yes, and I think Soldier can just cruise it all the way into the finish, and Soldier will be joining with Quattro for the Champions Final.
That was a very tense round. Soldier, though, does what Soldier's done all season long, and he just wins. He wins and he wins and he wins, and he somehow ends up now in another champion match. His win ratio, 20-4 so far. Has the potential to make it a 21 if he wins. But he has been looking amazing, Janik.
Absolutely. Very, very impressive display from Soldier. So it is going to be Volatile, Link, Quattro, and Soldier here fighting for that Champions medal. And they all have a good chance to take it here on the last map, which is Heart.
Heart being the last map. And finally, this is a map the players have been talking about. Finally, we have an identity section that isn't so extremely difficult. It's one they feel they can do pretty regularly. And that also means we're gonna see very close races on it. When you have maps, like there was one earlier on in the season, it's called Grassline. And that one, the players, it was one of the easiest maps they've had. And we saw round after round being decided by just 500s here with all 4 players in the mix. So this is gonna be very exciting.
Absolutely. And Heart is a pleasant map to drive, actually. I think it's going to be really close during the most of this map. As I drove it earlier, the map is consistent in its way of being played. There are a few things that might be a little bit hectic, like there is a reactor grass wall ride that has a gear in it that can be a little bit hard to adjust. But other than that, I think most of the map is very consistent. I think we're in for a very, very good final.
Oh, absolutely. And just the players as well, when you think about it. Like, if we quickly, before they start here, just take a look at the overall standings going into the day, let's take a look at the implications, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the top 4 players in the season currently, Soldier, Volatile, Quattro, and Link, are the 4 players we see in the finals. So this really is a battle for the top. The top player in the season will automatically qualify to Tmgl. If Volatile wins today and gets his 3rd champion medal, he's right there up with Soldier, and there's just one step remaining where perhaps he could snipe it away, take that auto qualifier, and the other 3 players will have to duke it out, both against each other and against the Tmgl players that are at the bottom to see if they can qualify. But the higher you get, the better. And important here for Quattro, like a win would automatically put him into 2nd, as long as Volatile doesn't win. It can go back and forth. But yeah, I mean, we're seeing the best 4 players in TMGLC right now.
Absolutely. And even though you see Soldier there at the top, it is important to know that he is fighting for that medal just as hard as he's done every other step, because if he makes sure that he has that 1st place, he does not have to fight for it here with the TMGO players. Yeah.
So it's a lot to play for. Apparently, all of them play a final where the winner is auto-qualified, so it's not an automatic promotion. But still, I think going into it, if you rank 1, you have an advantage going to the match. So, a bit different, but still, Soldier here, leader of the league, 20-4 win ratio right now if you update it, and could make it 21. That's an absurd score to have against such good players.
Very impressive here.
So let's just take a look at the warm-up. We're watching Quattro right now, going through the map. He's near the ending section, where we will see the identity. And as we said, it is an easier one. It's one the players feel they can drive pretty regularly. Gonna see it here after the water turn. Pretty sharp one, just around the corner. And then here we get to the identity. So you have to jump onto the plank here, drop down to the platform, go for an inside line and set up for the other plank, up to the platform, and then back onto 2 more planks to go into the finish, where you're greeted by some nice balloons. It's pretty nice scenery.
What more could you want, really?
Yeah.
Finishing one of these maps, getting a little bit of a balloon reward there at the ending. But yes, as you said, The identity there is very consistent. You can get it almost every time if you've practiced it. The only difficult part of it, I would feel like, is the jump onto the first platform from the dirt section, because you need a certain amount of speed to make that jump. And if you don't have the trajectory perfectly, you might clip right after the jump. So that's where I'm going to see if players make any mistakes. But other than that, I think most of the map is going to be very, very close right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we take a look at just the standings, the leaderboards, the player on the server with the best public personal best is Volatile. World record 103.37. Volatile has 103.52. Then we see, if we scroll a bit further, McQuattro 103.61, so about a tenth slower. And Link and Soldier, I believe, do not have public personal best. They practice offline so that nobody will know how fast they truly are. Absolutely. And that's always a mystery.
Absolutely. And that's a trend that we see in the last couple of maps that have not been played yet in the TMGLC or in the Tmgl, is that the players will be practicing offline so that they can bring in some new tactics on the big stage.
Yeah, are there any lines that nobody's found, you know? Are there any secrets? Usually, things get discovered pretty quickly, but we have had maps in the past that have just been decided by someone having secret strategies. There was a step a couple of weeks ago where Mutta had a wiggle strategy that gave him 3 tenths against the others, and everyone was just dumbfounded they hadn't discovered this. So let's see on the first round here if anyone's got a trick up their sleeve. We're in the finals of TMGLC with the top 4 players in the league right now, duking it out. First to 3 points wins. And let's see who will step up and take that champion medal. McQuattro in the lead out of the dirt here. They all try to drive as wide as possible. And here we have the gear in the wall ride, as you mentioned, can be difficult to deal with on the downhill. But it looks like they get through it pretty fine. Inside lines all around. Soldier building up speed down the hill here. Will pay off as they go up the hill and into the dirt section before the end. It's all 4 players within 500s, just like we predicted. This is going to be an amazing match.
Absolutely, and they're going to go wide here on the water so that they can get as tight to the walls as possible, carrying that speed through this dirt line, jumping into the first section of the identity. One platform, another platform, and a third platform. We see McQuattro here in front, getting attacked by Soldier and Volatile though, but McQuattro can maintain the lead. And that's what we're going to see a lot here. The identity is consistent, and if you can get in there first with the same amount of speed as the others, you have a good chance of making it into the finish first as well.
Yeah, but those jumps require so much precision. Like McQuattro there, he's barely making it up to each platform to minimize airtime.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
if you fall on the wrong side of that and you barely clip, you are losing the round. So you're playing a game there, both against your opponents, but also against yourself. Like, how low do you really want to go? How low do you dare to go on the jumps? And a little bit of limbo in the ending there. McQuattro doing it beautifully in the first round. Second round, we once again will have all 4 players in a heated battle for first. Only Soldier losing a little bit of ground to the others. Link and McQuattro climbing up with excellent exit speed. But out of the dirt, we once again see everyone here with a chance to win. Oh, perhaps not Link into the wall. But now, before the identity, Danik, 3 players left. McQuattro in the lead. How low can you go?
And it is going to be a fight here between McQuattro and Volatile. Volatile actually going super tight, trying to overtake, trying to push here in the ending. Is he able to do it? It does look like McQuattro is able to maintain it, but a very, very nice attempt there from Volatile, trying to pressure in, getting the lead. And McQuattro is now putting himself in a very nice finalist position. 2 rounds in a row go to McQuattro.
Yeah, back-to-back wins here. Nobody else has a point, and he just has such a good position now. He can even afford to lose like 3-4 rounds. As long as the correct players win, nobody else will be finalists yet. Volatile into the wall in the early part of the map here, but McQuattro now, great spot to be in. But we know with finalist modes, especially on the last map when we're playing for medals, that these can be highly stressful situations. Can McQuattro here deal with the pressure of being the clear favorite now to take the champion medal? Right now, it looks like he's doing just fine. He has the momentum of winning twice in a row. He's in first once again. Link here getting closer, but McQuattro on for a potential hat trick here before the ending.
And it does look like he has a good chance of taking it. Going very close to the wall there, miQuatro. Risking it a little bit, but Link has good speed. Making a little bit of a mistake. Clipping, and now Link is out of it. miQuatro was trying to maintain that lead. Soldier now trying to push it, but it does look like miQuatro is taking the hat trick 3 times in a row for miQuatro. Taking a Champions medal in TMGL.
Tmgl as miQuatro takes it. Really well played here. Just consistently fast as you need to be here. No mistakes in the first 2 rounds. And yeah, he just wins before the others have a chance to even contest him here. Maybe even not warmed up on the track. Now with the remaining players, as we said, we don't know what pace Soldier and Link are truly capable of. We know Volatile has a very strong personal best here on the leaderboards, but he's had some mishaps thus far. Into the grass wall right around. You want to go low through the checkpoint while also going up to the platform to build up speed. Good drift exit speed there for Volatile, who's now in first. And if he wins the champion medal, Soldier would get none, and Volatile would be tied with him in champion medals. Both having 3, so this is important for Volatile. Perhaps even feeling happy that miQuatro won. He has a chance now to tie for first in the league. Link with good exit speed. As you said, this time he will not make a mistake. Now challenging Soldier for first, who has less speed. This should be Link's round. 1 more jump to go, and the speed will carry all the way into the finish with the balloons. A new best time, and Link gets the first point out of the remaining 3 players.
Well played by Link. That is what the identity looks like when you drive it perfectly. Very, very low jumps coming in from Link right there, but he does execute it perfectly. Very beautifully done. Going into another round right here. Link trying to get away from the pack here with 1 point to his name, but nothing is over quite yet as we go into the first dirt section. Players are going to go wide, maintain that upper gear, and get as much exit speed here as possible into the grass section. Wall ride, making sure you maintain the gear right here.
And one thing we've seen, Janik, is I just want to point out, like we mentioned, why does Link get so much exit speed in the end? It's actually a small line he's doing that the others aren't. Where if we take a look at it here, after the water part, he goes very inside on the dirt, and that seems to build up more speed. See Wosolf falling a bit behind, but here, Link versus Soldier, and look at this now. Link's going to go very much on the right side, more so than Soldier, and this actually gets him more speed if he doesn't clip. Unfortunate there, but that might gain about a 10th here, and that's something you can use on the next rounds. Absolutely. This one will be Soldier's by 0.1, a 104.20 needs to be pointed out, but let's see if Link can use that. Yeah,
it is counterintuitive to think that going tighter on dirt is faster, because usually you would say, well, a tighter line makes you drift more, but because of the curvature of that dirt part, it is actually beneficial to go super tight, and it could be something that the players might have overlooked or might not have gotten super comfortable with in the last week right here.
Yeah, because like usually you find the lines that you feel are intuitive. Like, of course I want to go wide on the dirt. That makes sense. Of course I want to set up for this wall right early, go down low, do a smooth, gentle turn. These things all make sense, and you can see they're doing them very much so similarly. But that part, yeah, you think steering a lot and so sharply on dirt, that won't gain speed. But here Link is proving that it is, and the other players don't really know it. And a 10th on this map is a huge trick to have up your sleeve when you see how close it is. They're only within 200s now, so all eyes on Link, and let's see if he can do that line to potentially win this nail biter for round. Going into the dirt, he's gonna go more on the right side than the others, and here we can see him jumping up in the first, and he will not have any less speed for it, with a chance to win. Volatile though, great jumps, great airtime reduction for him, and he will secure that one. But Link here, perhaps with the upper hand. All things said, they're 1-1-1 now.
Absolutely, but as you said, just 1/10 in a map like this is huge when you come down when it comes down to it, especially because as we saw this last round, the players are not further away from each other than that 0.1, so that can push him up into first whenever they get to that identity. Going into the next section, it's 1-1-1 for all the players. They're now on equal ground once again. Every one of these players showing that they have the potential to get this champion's medal. Volatile here on first. Volatile trying to attack. Both of them going for an inside line, setting up for the drift, trying to get as much speed going into this jump right here.
Yeah, we saw Link falling a bit behind as well. It's really just a 1 versus 1 here. I think Link is too far away Volatile and Soldier now. We know they try to reduce airtime here in various ways. See Soldier going a bit diagonally to maybe get more speed into the water part. Tight turn around, but he's gonna clip the wall, actually. And Link might not be out of this. It's only 0.2 Volatile, though. We've seen him do these jumps before. He looked immaculate, no mistakes at all, and he's gonna do what he did in the previous round and secure another one. Back-to-back wins now, and putting a lot of pressure on his opponents. As we said, if he takes this one, both him and Soldier have 3 champion medals overall, and they're almost tied for first.
Absolutely. Wosa putting himself in a very favorable position, and it does look like he has found the rhythm in this map, especially there in the ending, getting so low jumps and executing the identity so flawlessly. It's very, very nice to see. As of right now, he is on third, though. He has to pressure the others, but it's just the start of the map. Let's see which of the players carry the most exit. Wosal, unfortunately, hitting the outside wall right there, and is probably going to be out of it for this match. So we're going to see a match here between Soldier and Link, trying to get the most exit speed into the uphill, wanting to make sure you also don't fly too far through the checkpoint. Getting low airtime is going to increase your acceleration time here as well. Going into the water part here in a section, they're going to be setting up for that identity.
Oh, beautiful exit speed by Soldier, giving himself a little bit of a breathing room before the dirt part. But here we see it, beautifully demonstrated. Link up into first, just taking that away, and Soldier has to wonder, where did I lose the time? They're going to be equal. Perhaps Soldier with a bit more speed. Link, though, will have the lead, but he clipped the last jump, and that's going to be Soldier winning it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's what we talked about.
Yeah. Unfortunate, clipping that inside, and Wosal is now sweating a little bit, wanting to make sure that he can deny Soldier that victory now.
Oh, Link has so much potential here, but none of it has been realized yet. Really, just went a little bit too low now on the back foot. I mean, the 2 players are finalists here. Soldier could just win a 4th champion medal and really prove that Tmgl is his to win, at least in the regular season. Wosal here trying to say it's not, trying to say I'm here to play and go all in on the last step to take it away from you. But in this round, they're all 3 really close. Soldier had to release. Link coming up with a lot of speed up into first. Perhaps we get a triple finalist here to close out the final match. Let's see if Wosal can have any say here on Link's lead in this round of Heart.
Yeah, and Link trying to go for the very inside line right here again. Wosal actually also going for it. It is the last identity here. If Wosal can close it out, getting an overtake on Link, and Wosal is now on first place. Link trying to get back, but Wosal is going to take it, and it's going to be the 2nd victory of the TMGLC.
Wow, that is amazing ending from Link. And he will actually do what was predicted. We're going to have an amazing last step, I think, now, with both Wosal and Soldier on 3 champion medals. We thought perhaps no one will ever get to that, and Soldier's already won. It's going to be an incredible last step, too, next weekend.
Absolutely, and they're like Wosal and Soldier are really going to be fighting for it next step. It's going to be very interesting to see. Absolutely.
And it looks like the gold match has concluded as well. Darkwix and Rossi winning a gold medal. Hedron and Skundir getting silver. Tween and Enner getting silver. Evan and Mika getting bronze. And it looks like the bronze match here is still ongoing, so we can quickly hop in and see how the players are fighting here. And what is so amazing when you think about it in this format is like, okay, we're going into the bronze medal match, but the times they're driving here too are really, really strong. Like, they're not bad runs that they're driving.
Absolutely. Like, they're nothing to scoff at right here. All of the players are driving really, really well, and it is because of these maps are so heavily influenced about the absolute pace you need. Like, you need to pressure every single time. You need to push yourself past that limit that you think you had, and that can make you have some unfortunate happenings. And that's why even in Group 4, we're going to see some incredible times being played.
And it looks like both players have DNF time. They just agreed to Dolph. I don't know what's going on. We'll see.
Oh, you have the spectator bug.
Oh, I might have the spectator bug then.
Yes, and Sapi and Dofold are playing right now. Dofold is in the lead. Sapi has made a small mistake right here. I can give you a play-by-play. It does look like Dofold is going to take this home, as Sapi has driven off the map. Dofold also making a mistake. Actually, full DNFs. Not full DNF. He's full stopping And
So
he's
that
just
is
driving it
default
home.
winning now, yeah. Once
Yes.
you DNF, you can never un-DNF, so this will just be the victory path for default. Securing a bronze medal, not the best step for him, but that's the thing about this format, right? We know, like, okay, you can have a bad season. If you do one good step in the last step and get a champion medal, you are completely safe from getting relegated and might even, you know, get into the top 8, top 4.
Absolutely. It's about never giving up this season. It definitely is. That's also, I think that's a feature going throughout the season, is to never give up, because even if you are on 3rd or 4th in one of the rounds, one of these identities can push you up, especially if you've practiced a lot. And the same goes for the season as a whole. If you are at the bottom of the ladder, you can still push your way up if you just have one good step.
So yeah, very true. Let's now take a look at what this does to the overall standings. Miquatro and Volatile getting champion, Soldier and Link getting gold. If we hop onto Wikipedia here, this is not updated yet. We can see that Volatile will be at 3 champion, no gold, but a silver and a bronze. Soldier will be at 3 champion and 2 golds. So really, for Volatile to win, next step, he needs to get a champion medal and hope that Soldier doesn't. Miquatro is now at 2 champion medals, so he is looking very much so. I think mathematically he cannot get pushed out of the top 4, so we will see him, Soldier, and Volatile guaranteed in the top 4 match. Also, Link now with 1 champion, 3 gold is going to be tough to beat. I think perhaps only Enner could knock him out of the top 4 if he gets a champion medal next up.
Evan, if he gets a champion medal, doesn't he have 3 gold?
That is a tie then, and they would have a tiebreaker match. That's true. Evan could also do it. If Link doesn't get like... Yeah, if Link doesn't get like more than gold, let's say, he would do it. So that can also flip. But for the players at the bottom here, this can also change. You know, see the red spots? These are relegation spots. So if you're Hedra, Dark Wix, Soppy, or Default, you need a champion medal here or a gold to be safe from getting the drop down.